Making Connections, Text to Self, Text to Text, and Text to World by Blink Education. Today we'll focus on text to self. Before talking about text to self, let's learn all about making connections. When I read a book, making connection to a text is a great strategy to help me understand what I read. I use my background knowledge schema to help me understand what I read. When I'm reading the book, I'm connecting the text to my life experience. I am connecting the text to the book I have read. I am connecting the text to an event in the past, present, and future around the world. Don't forget to compare the similarities and contrast the differences among them. Let's start our topic today, text to self. When I read a book, the text reminds me of my own experience. That's a connection. I can use a sentence starter to help share my ideas when I'm making a connection. Here are the examples. Let's take a look. I can start a sentence like, this part makes me remember. I can begin sentence like, this text makes me think of. This reminds me of. This relates to my life because. I understand how the character feels because. I have a strong connection to this part because. I understand what I just read because. This is the same as. This helps me understand the text because. Today I'm going to show you these two books called Who Will Win and Stay. After reading these two books, these texts relate to my life experiences. The first book I'm reading is Who Will Win by Jerry Pallotta. It is a non-fiction book. Look at what I found on my way home. When you are watching this video, what do you notice and what do you wonder? These are my observations. I noticed that the worm has hair and black and brown stripes. I am surprised that it moves very fast. I see the worm eat dandelion leaves. This is my personal experience in my life. After reading the book, I compared it to my life experience. This is what I found. When I read the nonfiction book called Who Will Win, I notice a familiar caterpillar in the book. Wait, that is the one I see when I take a walk outside. After reading the book, I'm very curious about this worm, so I search more information about it. Let's take a look. It is called woolly bear caterpillar. It's the larval form of the Isabella tiger moth. The dense coat with spiky hair covers caterpillar's body, which helps it hibernate in the cold winter. It's famous for predicting the severity of the winter. That is, the wider the black bands are, the severer the weather is. Woolly bear caterpillars eat different types of herbs, including weeds, dandelions, clovers, and violets. Let's take a look at the picture. What I observed is background knowledge I already had. After reading the book, I learned the caterpillar is called woolly bear caterpillar. Our schemas are constantly changing and growing when we learn new things. Connecting the text you just read to your life experience. Using sentence starters helps you express your ideas. Let's see the example sentences. I can say it reminds me of the one I see on my way home. They look similar. Let's see the second sentence. I understand what I just read because I find a woolly bear moving on the ground and I observed it closely. Using a sentence starter can help us initiate a conversation and share our ideas clearly. Let's see the second book, Stay by Bobby Pyron. It's a fiction book. When I read a fiction book, I'll find out if the story events are related to my life. The character's reaction, personality, and interaction are similar to a person I know. The setting reminds me of a place I have seen or heard. I understand how the character feels because I have been in the same situation. Let's see an example. Look at what I found in a grocery store. What do you see? What do you notice? Check out my observations. I am noticing the dog wears an emotional support animal vest. I am wondering the reason why the dog is allowed in the grocery store. Perhaps the dog accompanies the lady. This is my background knowledge which relates to my personal experience. When I read a fiction book today, I notice familiar words, emotional support animals in the book. Wait! I remember I see a dog wear the emotional support animal vest when I go to the grocery store. After reading the book, I learned that Jewel, one of the story characters, has a pet named Baby. Jules has been separated with her pet because she was hospitalized. However, dogs are not allowed in the hospital. Jewel also needs emotional and mental support in her life. Piper, the main character, and her friends try to help Baby to be an emotional support animal. Then Baby can visit Jewel in the hospital. Baby can be Jewel's emotional support dog to help her mental health. These are all the information I learned in the book. Connecting the text you just read to your life experience. Using sentence starters helps you express your ideas. Let's see an example. It reminds me of the dog I see in the grocery store. It is similar to the dog that is mentioned in the book. Let's see another example. I have a strong connection to this part of the book because I see an emotional support dog accompany the owner and provide comfort. I feel very graceful. I think that is how Piper feels when she sees Jewel give Baby a big hug. My personal experience is what I observed in the grocery store. This is my background knowledge. When I read the book, I found out it's called Emotional Support Dog. That's a new knowledge I learned from the book. Our schemas are constantly changing and growing when we learn new things. When I'm reading a book, I am connecting the text to my life experiences. I am also connecting the text to the books I have read. And I am connecting the text to an event in the past, present, and future around the world. In today's video, we are connecting the text to my life experiences. Be sure to subscribe, like the video, and follow my Instagram, Blink Education. See you next time!